Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Soul to Soul. This is Rose from Glasgow, and we're going to talk about rocking around the kalpa tree. So we're going to have a jolly good time dancing this evening. So it's a festival time for everyone, and it's a time to celebrate. We're going to look at a kalpa, which is a cycle of time. And time goes around and around. In the clock of history of humanity, we are reaching midnight. So it is time for a change. And so it becomes a good time to reflect on all the things we have to appreciate so that we can look back and feel happy. Look at happy memories. We can also look forward to new possibilities, newness. These are lovely ways to think. It's interesting to think about going around and around in this dance of life, because we're always alive. And it's when we begin to understand this, we can make the most of it. And reality check. If you dance for a long time, what would happen then, I wonder? You would get tired. Why is this? Because the body and the soul, they use up energy. It's the same for the soul in the long dance of many lives. Got to think about that one. So Raja Yoga meditation offers an understanding of energy of the soul and helps us to recharge our batteries and be ready to dance again. That's why we do meditation, why we do Raja Yoga meditation. A tree is a very wonderful symbol of the variety of different souls, the human world family tree, because we're all unique. We're very different. And it's the beauty of the variety of different characteristics of this human world family tree that makes this tree so beautiful. We could think of the seed of the tree as the one pure soul who always is in a state of peace. This one pure soul, the divine, never ever dances round and round the tree. And so that soul never becomes tired. But we ourselves, we go out dancing and we lose our energy. The seed of the tree offers us a recharge at this time, recharge our energy. So we get the strength to dance again. And so part of the recharge process is to understand the past, the present and the future. So we practice reflection, meditation. Some people call this process the third eye. To be able to see these three aspects of time can bring us clarity. These are like magical binoculars which enable me to see distant things as being very close. And so these divine binoculars help me to understand the world of silence, the soul world, but also the world of light. When I understand that the past, the present and the future are absolutely connected, everything becomes possible. Things I never dreamt of become possible, because the soul world, the world of light, is the soul world. I can understand that it's filled with peace. There's no human beings there. It's a place of light, points of light. When I understand this, and when I touch this with my mind, I can feel this stillness come back to me. Change is possible. And I don't think this is the way I am, this is the way I've always been, so I can never change. I don't think like this. Because the seed of the tree opens my third eye. That is my eye of awareness. I am a soul, and every soul has specialities. And every soul has been dancing around the tree. Every soul is part of the tree. Every soul belongs to the seed of the tree. Some of us have been dancing a long time, others maybe not quite so long, but we've still become tired dancing. And so it's up to you really what kind of dance you perform. Which is why we study Raj Yoga, to bring back the virtues in ourselves. So do we want to perform a dangerous dance which causes me sadness, or the dance of angels? So what we'll look at is then to open the third eye, that is to become aware, think about these things, practice, connect with the seed of the tree and dance around the cycle of time in your own special and unique way. So there's so much benefit in understanding that it's the time of change, and that change is so natural for us and so easy, so refreshing. It's like if a car, even if it's a very beautiful latest model car, runs out of petrol, it can't dance along the highway anymore. It stops. But once it gets a refill, it can zoom along merrily and go and visit wherever it likes. We're the same. We've run out of strength. And that excitement of newness and anticipation, we should check, do I still have this? Or am I searching desperately for something to keep me feeling alive? But you are alive because you are life. You're the energy of life. And so I can now have the ability to see the three aspects of time: the past, the present, and the future.
You said you're always alive. In a way that sounds like what everyone wants to hear, to live forever in a way, but also it can sound quite daunting, because often when we talk about these things, people immediately want to ask, but don't I get a rest at some point? I think people have this sense they can't keep going forever in a way. So how does it work energy-wise? I know it's a big topic, but just briefly.
Because we are energy, and we talked about this world of light, the soul world, and so life becomes very difficult at some point in this dance around the tree, not just for us personally, but for the entire world. And I think at this time it's happening. It's becoming more and more difficult to understand, because you see the energy that keeps us alive and that keeps us happy are the pure energies of the soul, and it's the energy of love, happiness, light-heartedness, cheerfulness, kindness, friendliness, working together in cooperation. All of those energies give us energy to live. And when we get tired, it's as though we've given out all our energy, and we feel maybe daunted by the fact that I don't know where to put my energy now. Because it's as if we feel we've come to a strange space in the world today. Where can I go? What can I be? All the doors are closing very rapidly. And we could feel very sad, but we don't need to feel sad. Because when I look inside, this is the third eye, and I see that life has to go on. Human beings don't have the key to turn off the switch and say that's the end of the world, I think we'll blow it up, or we'll do this or that, or we'll take control of all the human population. A human being doesn't have that power, but it can seem as if they may have. But the only one that has that power is the divine. So when I realize that I can connect with that one and regain the energy to smile, to dance, to see the future with my inner eye, and I know that life will go on. But before that can happen, the clock has to strike 12. And at that time there is a world of light. So all of these souls, everyone, goes back there. And when we're there, we bask in peace and relief. And when it's time for us to come back round to dancing again, we come down. And we don't all come at the same time. Some dance longer than others. And if you're doing Raj Yoga meditation, you'll probably dance longer than others. So, okay.
I suppose it's the aspect of dancing really that makes it more appealing, because otherwise the pull is to go to be in this sort of space of peace. I think that's what most people would find appealing, is, oh, peace sounds just lovely. Because most of the time life doesn't feel like a dance for a lot of people. It feels like a struggle. So how to get back this joy in life, this sense that it is like a playful experience. It seems so far away from most people's day to day.
Because the light-heartedness of our nature is our natural nature. Every soul on the planet, everyone, doesn't matter what they're like now, but when they first came down from up there, they were at their most beautiful, because they were full of peace. And peace is our strength, our power. And when you first arrive, you have no likes or dislikes, no enemies. Everyone's your friend. And it can take some time for that to begin to wear down until the worry and the trauma and the troubles and everything start to come. But then when they do come and accumulate for everyone on the planet, everyone, then it seems like big, big stuff. However, if you were to take it individually, it's not so daunting. But we're able to see through technology and all the other wonders of today's world what's happening everywhere, and so that can become overwhelming. But it's not quite the way it looks en masse. What Raj Yoga teaches us is to look inside at yourself and keep yourself reassured, calm, kindly, affectionate, be like an anchor for others, a good example for others. And when you keep doing your meditation, you become stronger and stronger inside. Okay.
So do you think it's possible to help others to be a bit more happy and buoyant? Just thinking practically, if you don't feel like dancing, but someone kind of says, come on, have a wee dance, you'll feel better. You quite often do.
Yeah. And it's not even actually dancing, it's just a light-hearted attitude. If you see someone's a bit in despair, you can't often change what's happening you cannot change what's happening for anybody else. But you can help lighten their mood just through you, through your face, through the sound of your voice, through your encouragement. It's like you have faith in them, that gives them faith in themselves. If you do meditation, that's something that's useful for you to do. Help others. To help others is to help yourself.
You mentioned a phrase, magic binoculars, and it made things sort of far away seem up close. I find when you explain things, it's a bit like that. It's that big concepts that seem quite hard to get your head round, that somehow when you look at them in the right way, if you have a depth of spiritual understanding, it kind of seems possible to understand.
The magic binoculars that we talk about means you're able to put things into focus in a sensible way, because you look mostly at your own heart. And then when you look out into the world and begin to understand what's happening to others, and you know that when they first arrived here, they had a beautiful, beautiful, light-hearted energy. So when you're light-hearted, subtly you touch that beginning time of others, their light-hearted energy. So that's how you can uplift yourself and also uplift others.
So a dance of angels, what does that look like in your thoughts? What kind of thoughts do angels have?
Well, I wouldn't go over the top with that one just now, but I would say that if people have been practicing meditation and they're touched by their good energy, that's their own, it's the only thing we ever own is ourselves, our own good energy. And if there's a few people dancing who are aware that their energy is good energy, and they're practicing it with a sincere heart, then they have the strength to keep visualizing newness and actually imparting that vibration of the possibility of newness to others.
And the third eye, this is something that everybody's very intrigued by. The idea of opening a third eye, that somehow you would become absolutely wise and wonderful instantly by some process happening.
Well, it just simply means that you're a soul and you accept the fact you're a soul. You begin to see where you're at, but if you listen to spiritual information, then you start to fill your third eye with wisdom. But it's the filling of the third eye with wisdom. So, yeah, many people can take the fact they're a soul and dance in delight and get some strength and keep in good company as well, I would say. And you can feel the wonder because your third eye has actually opened, because you would not have chosen such good company before, and you would not have felt such light-hearted enthusiasm before. But if you go on and actually take information and think about it and do your best to understand it, think about it, understand it, you are feeding your third eye with the reality of how energy works. Does that make sense?
And just finally, another tricky question, but even just a sentence. If the seed of the tree helps me recharge, so the divine or God helps me to recharge, why do I not just, like, every time I have a wee dance, get recharged? Why do I get carried away with the dance and forget to go back to get recharged? Seems silly.
Well, we all go back up there to the world of light, and the world is a beautiful place when we come down from there. So we don't need recharge. We have a lot of energy, and we just enjoy. And it's not until we start to feel some things different that we start to look at how to make it the way it was, but we don't even know what the way it was is to begin with. But we still need power, so we come in connection and start to look at Raj Yoga meditation But then everything seems to be not wonderful, but not so hazardous for a long time. And so everyone's still dancing merrily. So a lot of people came down from up there a lot later. They still have some power. And the ones that came first are totally exhausted. And so eventually things get a bit darker. And I would think, I've never known so many people meditating. I think there's so many people in the world now of all religions and of all castes and colours and creeds are meditating because they know there's something they need to find, and what they are looking for is themselves, that newness of when they first arrived, because they can definitely go back to that again. I hope this makes sense. It's like opening another door for people to look at something, which if it's new people listening can be a bit daunting. But if some of them have been doing this a little while, it'll be quite uplifting. So I would say keep going. Explore this possibility. Look at what we're saying, because it applies to every human soul on the planet. We were all absolutely beautiful. And we cannot say we are now, because beauty means smiling, light-heartedness, generous spirit, sweetness, kindness, friendliness, all the time. Not just on birthdays and Christmas, but seeing the best in each other, knowing there's a light, definitely a light at the end of the tunnel. We can see the light. There is a light. It's going to be okay. Okay. So I think we're going to do some meditation. So we're looking at the self as a being of light, the energy that brings life to the entire body system and allows us to be alive. But it's when this energy of the soul becomes tired, it cannot give that energy to the body system. So we need to practice soul consciousness to lift up the body. So it's not that we become soul conscious and forget the responsibility of looking after the physical life. But I can't look after the physical life when I've no energy left. So as to begin to understand the self as this wonderful being of light energy, life energy. I am a soul. And I do my best to understand myself as I was when I was new and fresh. And when I think of the divine, the one above, I can begin to understand more and more. And so it's as if this energy of the third eye can become stronger. Like the magic binoculars, I can see more clearly. I am the energy, the life. think of these three aspects of time can bring me clarity. To understand the past, the present, and the future. Some people do call this the third eye. And to understand the world of silence, the world of light, the soul world. This gives me refreshment. I am a soul. And there's one pure soul that has the energy to uplift every soul on the planet through purest energy, the divine. Om Shanti.